experience all that stuff. So we got in here West Coast Wise, Knowledge Love, Wise You, Divine Understanding, Felix Almanzar. Who's that? I actually know who that is, but I can't place it right now. But shout out to everybody. We back doing what we do. We're back broadcasting on multiple channels here. On Facebook, we're on I think Random Jewels today. On Facebook, we're broadcasting on Random Jewels. On Instagram, we're broadcasting on The Lost Fruit. And of course, we have the Random Jewels on YouTube that we broadcast on all the time. Wise Son, Zigzag Zig, Peace, Smell Goods. Melchizedek is on Netflix now. Nah, I didn't, I don't watch a lot of TV, so yeah, I probably missed it. But what is Melchizedek? Is he selling any lessons? If I know Melchizedek, some lessons are on sale. Some flags, something of that nature is generally going to be the case with Melchizedek at any and all times. Class is good. We got in a little bit early today. Usually. Yo. Hold on. These magazines, they got more over there to say. Oh, okay. Listen, I'm begging everyone. You know how y'all be asking what we need up here at the school? And people call, they'd be like, yo, does the school need anything? Is there anything I can add on? What we need is pills for psychotic people. That's what we need. All that other stuff, like, look, we could use a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come by, tidy up a little bit, we could use that. But what we really, really need is pills to help psychotic people. Over here at the G building. All right, so you said Melchizedek is on the documentary Blood Brothers about Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali. I've been seeing some things that they was going to be covering about Muhammad Ali. I haven't seen any. In general speaking, now I haven't checked Netflix. And in general, in my life, right? I've reached a point, right, where when people start to tell the historical stories, right, I was dead for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you tell a story about Bumpy Johnson, like, that was, I'm observant. You know what I'm saying? But, I just in general, not that particular story, of course, Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali, I wasn't around for that one. But what is Melchizedek? I mean, yeah, he's he's a firsthand he's a firsthand observer of that situation. What is he talking about? What you said they settle about dissing Elijah. Who? What you mean? Who settles what? Who's dissing Elijah? Man, we put, how we do this Elijah out this morning. What's wrong with you? Put that up there so y'all can see my man's. You originally from Master Victory, Mount Vernon? Master Victory? That's Master Victory that I know. But people got all names now. But you talking about Mount Vernon? That's because why? So they've been using Malcolm to diss Elijah for years. Yeah, I definitely. What's wild is somehow I missed that. Like for the first, 30 some years of me dealing with Islam, I didn't realize that it was that degree of animosity between, like whatever happened. I didn't know it was like a open animosity about it. I thought it was just something that, you could kind of, glean from the different aspects of their relationship. But trying to insinuate that Elijah was jealous of Malcolm and that both Ali and Malcolm outgrew their teacher and found real Islam. Now, who did this? Because I have seen, I'm talking about who's behind the documentary, because I have seen documentaries of that nature where you start out, right, and in stories about Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X, where you start out with, just two brothers in the wilderness of North America. One brother is deciding to make his way through boxing, one brother deciding to make his way through crime, and then you flow into them being introduced to Islam and Elijah Muhammad, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's this growth thing where even in terms of the characters, well, in the documentary you don't really have characters, but even in terms of the people that you see talking about them. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes from the childhood friends, and family that they knew when they was growing up. You know what I'm saying? And then it moves on to, their boxing buddies or crime buddies. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, eventually it moves on to them dealing with Islam. You know what I'm saying? And so you start to see the Muslims, members of the NOI talking about their experience with them. But then by the time you get to the end of these documentaries, right, it's all colored people. And they both saying the same things. You know what I'm saying? That ultimately they both was a part of, you know, a world that couldn't allow for them to keep a small mindset like what was given in the NOI. You understand what I mean? So with Muhammad Ali, is generally they take the angle that he had a lot of colored people behind him supporting him in terms of boxing. You know what I'm saying? That you're espousing this white man is the devil, but you rolling with Angelo Dundee and Freddie Pacheco and et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, these Caucasians is, they kind of supporting you and making money and everything. So how can you still say that about them? You know what I'm saying? And then with Malcolm X is that, he becomes kind of an academic, you know what I'm saying? And as an academic, he can't, continue to espouse the mindset of the NOI because, these ideas somehow can't encompass the reality that he's being introduced to. You know what I'm saying? I've always found that very kind of bullshit to me. You know what I'm saying? For one, it's clever that you pull this shit right after Malcolm has returned to the essence, right? And Ali was no longer in a condition to manifest how he really saw it. You understand what I mean? Because I've seen other people, you know what I'm saying, on both sides of the coin, going into what I was saying earlier about when you look at these historic things. See, now look, I wasn't there for Malcolm. I wasn't there for Martin, but I can tell you this. They hated Muhammad Ali. See, now all of a sudden you let the nigga go put the torch in the Olympics. And so it was always peculiar, when you see all of a sudden now somebody who was the villain and now they, putting them up as now, well, really, he was one of us. You know what I'm saying? You see, they just made a movie where, at the end of the day, Harriet Tubman, the situation, the way I understood it, is something totally different now. So, it's strange because as I'm looking at the comments to the video, right? I'm watching this video right here. And in the first video right here in the suggestions is my video for Do Your Own Narrative. See, when I said that, when these other people tell the stories, that's why a lot of times I want to see who's telling the story. That is important. Hey, Vince, I give you a perfect example. Now, y'all don't get on the phone and form no party to come over here and jump in. Because I know I'm about to offend some people here. Listen, I ain't see that Wakanda shit. What's the name of that movie? Yeah, Black Panther. I ain't see that shit. The fuck I need Stan Smith to tell me what the fuck is going on for? You want to tell a Black Panther movie, tell the real motherfucking Black Panthers. You see, I'm aware of the moving of the goalposts. To see, you start off with one thing, and then somehow you get convinced that this one thing is the same as some other thing. And then slowly that first thing that you started with gets eliminated. And the only thing that's left is that other thing. Now, where do we see that in the lessons? So I don't play with those people, man, all that stuff like that. You tell your own story, tell the story you want to tell. You know, but for certain things when I was there, now I'm not gonna allow you to. I'm not gonna allow you to tell me. You know, I mean, you know, a lot of things happen. Shit, I hope it's not off topic. What about a lot of story of his life on the film and movie form? Yeah, Master, yeah, Mount Vernon, yes. Yeah, still saying Master Victory up there. Yeah, I got the knowledge on White Plains Road. Uh, I mean, I'm not inclined to tell that story. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know it's people that, you know, and look, everybody, I'm not condemning them. I'm just saying, me personally, my mental and emotional state, I don't need to see that movie. I don't want to see that movie. And I don't see how y'all want to tell that movie and have it be complete. You know, like this has got to be like this more than Roots. Like you gonna need more movies than Star Wars. Just to listen, just to get out of 1964, you gonna need 8 fucking prequels. Shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not, just like, see, when that thing came out with the law on the news, see, I wasn't really impressed by that because it wasn't like I was under the impression that, Allah could really just be like Jesus Christ and niggas really could have just made it up. I never was under that impression. Like, there's lots of people, there's people in my family. You know what I'm saying? My great-great-grandparents never met them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I didn't know he existed or I didn't know what he was about. I didn't see anything on there that really. You know what shocked me more than anything? See, the people that's from outside New York, y'all don't know the news reporter. I'm bugged out because I'm like, oh shit, great Gay Pressman was Gay Pressman was around back then. Gay Pressman interviewed a lot. That to me is more shocking than see a lot on the news. But it's one of the things where that's me. That's not everybody. I can perfectly understand why everybody else would want to see that. I just don't want to see it, But I'm crazy like that. Like, look, there was a time in my life, right? Why I didn't understand why people came to New York to go to the rally or get the knowledge. Like, I didn't understand. I was just thinking, like, look, don't y'all got the knowledge over there? Like, why you came all the way out here? Like, you know how it is out here, right? Like, why would you want to come? I didn't understand it. But that was, I didn't understand that, I was a kid then, 15, 16. To this day right now, I still say, listen, I understand why you come here, but now it's got to be established where you at. This ain't religion where you doing no motherfucking Hajj and all that shit. So there was a brother at the end of the documentary that said that same thing, how the narrative changed. Yeah, the narrative has changed a lot, man. Even in the time, listen, I'm gonna tell you that with Malcolm X, I first used to hear brothers say that, but when I seen it myself was after the Malcolm X movie, they had people walking around with Malcolm X shirts on, right? And the X, the color, it was the American flag. That was the design of it, yeah. Yes, I mean, so at that point, it was like, oh yeah, this thing is 100% commercial. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's not the Malcolm X that you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was one of the things that happened. You know what I'm saying? Just saying that was a step, right, in the stage on the way to this type of thing now where you totally change the narrative. You see what I'm saying? West Coast Watch, I was happy to see you. I know a lot of people was happy to see. A lot of people were saying, it was, great to see him and all of that, And like I said, I understand why other people want to see. I'm just saying that for me, yeah, I'm I don't know what it is. I can't. I don't even. I don't have an explanation, but just it just it. I mean, if he came on here and answered one of those questions y'all be having, you know, you know, if he came on there and said, and listen, you know that would have been crazy. But look, if he would have came on here and said, look, all y'all people, you want to deal with the signs of rather, I call this thing the 5% or the NG. See, if he came on there and answered that, then I'd be impressed. He just came on there and talked about a topic what was going on. Like if you didn't have the teachings before that, I don't think you got them now. You got them. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that VC round came in. Oh, it's not. You know, all this time, I thought we was broadcasting on Instagram, but really we wasn't. I had to press the button there so we could go live. So sorry about that, Instagram. Y'all missed the whole first part of the class. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Happens to the best, right? You know, when I got this knowledge, it was on pen and paper. See, that's why people get on pen and paper. So you go out, like, you go out there with them people, they give you copies of all that type of shit, show your website. Now you still get on pen and paper over here. You couldn't just do a Google search, do your lessons and shit. You know what I mean? You had to really get busy. All right, Amaya Gilchrist, John Clark, Asiatic God Mathematics. Y'all gotta stop pressuring me to have babies. I just asked these two girls in Medina for, and one got upset and went and told her brother. Well, I mean, well, you have to, magnetic is it? See, magnetic, it can't be seen with the naked eye. You see what I'm saying? See, that means so finesse involved. You might want to add a little finesse into your formula. You know what I'm saying? That's, so you gotta add a little piece of black seed. You gotta add a little finesse onto that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not that people is pressuring you to have babies, but that's actually a thing. The reason why different ways we go into all different social, political, whatever, but the census, there's a reason why they keep the census. You know what I'm saying? Population growth, population decline, these are real things. You know what I'm saying? Being able to perpetuate yourself, your ideas and everything, you're not going to be able to do that completely, right? Without one understanding mentally as well as physically. You can add on, right? And people would know the idea. But in this realm right here, in this realm, this 6 right here, yeah, you no longer exist. West Coast where I said, indeed, I came out watching the Malcolm X movie growing up. I did not like Elijah for what I thought was him killing Malcolm. Exactly. And so when you look at that, Spike Lee also played his part. Fly phrase from the Providence Plantations, did that, that movie and the whole narrative behind it also played his part in people having a certain outlook, because even myself, I had the knowledge when that came out, and it made me look at them sideways. So, that's why, when I see these things now and they talking about, people and, who's great now and who's the villains now, I think I said on this channel before that the first time I ever heard about that, the commercialization of a person was when Martin Luther King's birthday was declared a national holiday. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I was in class. I'm pretty sure that was Miss Elmore. And so they came on the loudspeaker and announced it, Martin Luther King's birthday is now a national holiday and everything. You know what I'm saying? And so all the kids in the class, we all cheered. You know what I'm saying? Because, Martin Luther King, was the hero and shit. That's all you heard and shit. You know what I'm saying? So the teacher she was mad serious. Like she was looking with this look on her face. She was like, wow, we looking at her, the cash finally calmed down, right? When everybody calmed down, she was like, yo, see y'all all cheering. But this is a horrible thing, it's terrible. And we came in like, why you say that? And she said, see, eventually it's going to be reduced to just a day that y'all get out of school. Like everything that he really stood for is going to become commercialized. It's going to become, like Christmas is now, where you don't hear nobody talk about Jesus. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So that and I mean, when it comes to now, Kamala Harris announcing your what you call that, candidacy for president, right? But you're not even black, but you're doing it on Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? That same kind of thing. So in that way, even talking about, in terms of, making a movie with a law or something, like that's the risk that you're running. Like that's the flip side of that coin. There's protons and electrons in every atom, positive and negative. So yeah, the positive part will be, you might get the word out there to some more people, and some of us might enjoy seeing some things put in cinematic form. But see, the flip side of that is now you've made it pop culture too. You understand what I'm saying? And now just start going this direction, that direction. You know what I mean? What do we do? Do we feel comfortable taking dramatic license with the story of love? Do we clean it up? Do we make some people seem nicer? Do we make some people seem meaner? How do we do that? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why you don't see me even, nah. You wanna know what I say? You come over here, you hear what I got to say. You understand what I mean? But going to try to, commercialize myself in terms of, building or adding on, I don't do that. See, because, when if a person can make a movie and make you look good, they can make a movie and make you look bad. See, what happens if the next person decides, okay, yeah, they made that movie, but yeah, I don't think that movie, you got a whole bunch of movies. Now you got a TV show about Bobby Johnson. So now what happens when some other people from the other side make a movie about Bobby Johnson? Like, what if the NOI made that movie? What if the Department of Corrections made that movie? So me, I rather I rather keep the revolution untelevised. That's another thing too. You gotta realize that comes along with my age group. Like we grew up hearing that. Nah, don't be on TV with this shit. You know what I'm saying? All that speech giving, nigga all out in front, right his mouth. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? When we get busy, we gonna get busy and be in and be out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, saying that I'm voting against it. I'm just saying that these be the things. Like if people came to consult me, I would be, you come to consult me about my. No, that's not what happened. This nigga here too light skinned to do that role. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So when you got to get it past the approval process, that's when you're gonna have some issues there.
I had heard the song. I forgot what song it was. But I think it was rappers. There's a group called Arm & Hammer, and they was rapping. They was talking about, I forgot what the lyric was exactly, but they was talking about the Spike Lee situation. They were talking about how he wasn't supposed to do that, but just got funded from the white people. Basically, like,
yeah, it was
funding from the white people just is what commercialized everything from like then on.
Yeah, it was like a thing where, Farrakhan and them was talking about it, like, yo, listen, man, you better be very careful about how you portray Elijah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, magnetic wise over here. What was this you say here? The wordsmith says, I'm the God that Elijah was talking about, created himself out of triple darkness. I suppose. I'm waiting for complete to come in. I got one more thing about discipline in the Generation X. I got one more. I just wanna ask him if he remembers something. When complete comes in, we gonna go back in on that. Peace, magnetic wise. Yeah, I'm live everywhere now. I'm on Instagram. You right here on Instagram, of course. You already know that. On Facebook, I think we're broadcasting on Random Jewels channel today, and of course we're Darkim Be AllahChrist on YouTube. We got our technology game up home. Let me put my man Elijah. Looks like I was blocking Elijah where y'all couldn't see him. See the people over here. See y'all on Facebook, or if you on Instagram, y'all may not have seen my man Elijah. We had some. We thought somebody was speaking a little disrespect, so we had to. Just in case people don't know. Notifications. Yeah, you gotta watch the notifications because they don't show me that kind of respect. they don't show me that kind of respect on these channels, you know. I'm not talking gossip. Why Zigzag Zig said, with all respect, I'm not with that making a movie about Allah. We don't worship. Yeah, that's another kind of that's another danger. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, things could become pop culture, right? Where it becomes like frivolous all of a sudden, right? And then it can also become, once you start making all of these images, you know, in idols, you know what I'm saying? Like the way it was told to me, you know, Amin told me that Allah said, you only need one picture of him. Like if you want to know what he looked like, right, you only need one picture. Okay? Everything after that is worshiping. So yeah, all of those is I'm just saying is definitely things you're gonna have to think about. You know what I'm saying? Anytime, you know, you it's just like when we say when I was saying before, like when you make jewelry out of the flag. See, now it's just jewelry. Now it's just a craft piece for any person that it's a craft piece for any person that makes jewelry. You know, you just bring them, they just make it. You understand what I'm saying? Other people that see it, they're like, oh snap, that's fly. I need one of those. You see what I'm saying? When the people see it, you know, is that meaning still going to be manifest? You know what I mean? Or will just the face value of how it looks? So he said, if you saw the movie, it wasn't Elijah that was jealous of Malcolm. It was his brothers in the nation that set the events in motion between Elijah and Malcolm. Um, I mean, to me, it just portrayed the entire organization is kind of phony, you know, and Malcolm X as the only righteous individual, you know. And I love Malcolm. I don't have no picture of Malcolm. You had a picture of Malcolm, we put Malcolm there. But Malcolm be lying, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't get caught up in all that shit Malcolm was talking. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just one of the things, man, that we just learn from, you know, in, you know, historically, it's just another one of those events that occurs all the time. You know what I'm saying? But it's just another one of those events for us to look at and learn about, you know, allowing the distinctions between us to become separations, to become differences and then separations. I mean, like what I'm saying is that you inside the black man body, right? You got black germ and brown germ. They're distinct, but they're not different. But see, Yakub with his law on birth control, right, treated them differently, right? And that's by following this process for 600 years, the germ became white and weak, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm just saying that as people, right, we also do that. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, you see this situation with Martin and Malcolm, not Martin and Malcolm, with Malcolm and Y, or you know, you see in many of our organizations that we had, you know what I'm saying? There's divisions that occur within them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, in the moral science, you know what I'm saying? You got different leadership in there that different people follow. You understand what I'm saying? You know, you had the situation, what was those people? The US, it was the US and the Black Panthers. And they got in a shootout over there in UCLA. Yeah, because the FBI was writing them letters saying that the other ones is fucking up in whatever way and they scheming on you. So the people on the US side, you know, they jumped out the window and shot them up. They was doing a speech on the UCLA campus. You know, I'm saying there's other situations, or somebody was telling me that it was an individual that ratted, an individual was down with Marcus Garvey, ratted him out. You see what I'm saying? So in these situations where we let these little, you know, they didn't really just distinctions at first. You see what I'm saying? Until we allow them to drive a wedge between us where we become separated. You see what I'm saying? So,
that's based on how it's portrayed. That's based on how it's portrayed. Right?
Yo! Yeah, what you saying?
I'm saying is that like when it comes to the thing that wedges to create the division, that's just based off like how it's perceived, or not perceived, but how it's portrayed, like how it's given to you. Like if I, for example, in movies, like you were just saying, like the way I depict it in the movie, the way I make it play out in the movie is the way you like believe it to be, and that could cause that division.
Yeah. The ideas that people had about what happened. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the people start to pick sides. You know what I'm saying? You know, when, you know, you have one of the people who, you know, they influence you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, for a lot of people, you know, Malcolm, you know, he was the one that really expanded the nation. You know what I'm saying? So for a lot of people, Malcolm was the guy that they was a Muslim because of. You see what I'm saying? And for a lot of other people, Elijah was the guy that they was a Muslim because of. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, people are gonna start to pick sides. You know what I'm saying? And even in terms of before everything happens, that's also happening. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, if you certain people, right? You know, and you know it's people around that they very influenceable, right? You can just start saying shit around. You know what I mean? Now you can just start saying, yo, son, this nigga Malcolm be on some disrespectful shit, yo. Hey, shit, nigga ain't supposed to be dissing Elijah like that. And you can just say that around certain motherfuckers. These certain motherfuckers gonna be like, word, shit, you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Certain motherfuckers is that's. So, you know, yeah, that, you know, even before the thing happens, you know what I'm saying? People start to put narrative on it that make people choose sides and drive the wedge. Yeah, yo, yeah, Malcolm was over there, Yeah, he was saying this. You understand what I'm saying? You know, before anything ever happens. Completely. I got another moment. True universal. I got another moment I want to ask you about. We gotta take a little detour. Lord Hashem, peace to God. We gotta take a little detour. Booney, welcome to the channel. And we gotta go back. We're gonna go back. Complete God. I want you to tell me if you recall this moment. 793 is in the room too. 793. Tell me if you recall this moment. You know that moment when you be in class, right? You in elementary school, and the teacher walks out the room for whatever reason. They leave the room, you know, they don't say nothing. They say, class, I'll be right back. So you know what we do? We start playing everybody. Everybody starts playing in the class, right? But tell me if you remember this moment complete. That moment when somebody looks at the window and sees that somebody's parent is looking in the class. Look, and somebody say, yo, who mom is that? So listen, nobody answered, but one person get mad quiet. Hold up, complete. Have you ever been there, complete? Have you ever been? Hey, look, and you know that person better hope their moms is not the, you know. I remember one time this kid, his pop pretty much pulled up in the merchant. Like he didn't say nothing. I seen him out the corner of my eye when he came in, right? I'm on the line over here, right? It's these other kids over there where they already got their food and shit, right? Yo, son, I don't know what happened. If he was in the office and the teacher told the parents, told him so, yo, dude came in. Yo, he grabbed something, whipped the shit out of it, and just stepped off, son. He didn't say nothing. Wasn't no talking. You know what I'm saying? And the kid ain't say nothing either. He asked like, yo, what was that about? Yeah, man. Complete said he's been that guy. I'm just telling y'all, man. Welcome to Generation X. He said literally that's how it used to be, man. I seen people with moms, man, come into class, man. Mom, pops, everything. And look, the school ain't used to say nothing. Teachers stand right there watching you get your ass whipped. Don't say nothing. Now you see now, you come in there with a little scratch on your arm. They gotta call the police. See back then, teacher ain't say a motherfucking thing. You see what I'm saying? So that's just a little different. Now we get back. I just wanted to, when after we left last night, I thought about that. I said, yeah, that's complete, man. And it turns out you're that guy. Yeah, that's the thing. As I said, well, if I come back to school the next day, you be silent, son. Shirt be buttoned all up to the top and shit. They got on penny loafers and shit. Yeah. He said, be like this. Oh man. School used to be funny. Lord, Hashim, you over here over there too. God, man, now I was born. That's diabolical. Now I was born. I said, I remember not telling my mom I was suspended. And then she found out when she went to the school for my sister and I wasn't there. You see what I be telling y'all about people? People be talking about they refuse, about they abuse, but you was bad. you, yeah, complete. Remember at that point when your mom's finally got tired of you saying dag? He was like, yo, stop saying dag in here, yo. We be like, nah, I didn't say, I said dag, dag. Yeah, I don't care what you said. I said, don't say that shit in here. Just one day your mom's like, so you getting your shit off with that shit. You trying to just curse, motherfucker. Oh man. Oh, she probably came to that realization. Like, yo, stop saying that shit in here. I'm serious though. Let's get back. We're talking about serious topics. You know what I'm saying? We talking about who was at Malcolm. Who was at Malcolm. You know, but all the brothers, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, that's what we got to do. We got to, you know, we got to learn, you know, from these situations. You know, a lot of times now, you know, we've started looking more at, you know, the like all of the negative parts. You know what I'm saying? That's what ends up, you know, messed up about a lot of these things, and then we don't look at the good parts. You know what I'm saying? Where even a dude like Dr. York, you know what I'm saying? You know, I don't condone, you know, his behavior, but not all of his ideas was horrible. You know what I'm saying? The execution and the individuals doing the execution might have left some to be desired. Now, we used to say shoot, dag, all that. And then one day, my mom just was like, yo, stop saying shit. Like, yes, we'll be back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I had a question about something you said yesterday. You was telling me culture and freedom.
Yeah.
You were saying that you were freedom born, right? So
Yeah.
I looked it up. Well, I didn't look at it, but I was looking at the difference in the definitions. But like culture is basically just talking about how like it's basically how it comes from customs and beliefs, like materials. But then when I went to like the root words and stuff like that, it's talking about coming from the land or like of a crop. And then whereas freedom is talking about.
See, that's in the sense of, you gotta remember, like I said, now you gotta get into the usage. So when they talking about like growing something, it's like when they culture like penicillin and shit.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a certain way. In that way, it's also talking about, you know, a culture is a transmission machine, you know what I'm saying, where it transmits ideas over time and space. You know what I'm saying? So people is living, you know, a certain culture. People is doing hip hop, let's say, right, in LA, right, in 2021, when it started in the Bronx in 1971 or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So it's able to transmit things of that nature. And it's also dealing with you know, you got like the raw definition, and then, like I said, you got how these things is manifested. You know what I'm saying? So a culture at its root is it's a way that a people survive in their environment. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the difference between, you know, a culture and it's kind of, you know, pop fads that's out here right now. So if people live on an island, right, their culture is more than likely the foods they eat is gonna be seafood. You understand what I'm saying? They're gonna make boats. You know, they're gonna get up at a certain time and they're gonna go in the water at certain times of the year when the fish is there. You understand what I'm saying? As opposed to now they're gonna be living a different culture than somebody from Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? Where it's landlocked. So now you a farmer. So now you gotta get up a different time. You understand what I'm saying? And the clothes you wear is different because you know, if you jump in the water, you might just have a loincloth on. But if you out there in the field, you gotta have boots on and all these different things. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, the culture, right, is also how we extracting our survival from the land. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we in America now, the American culture, you know, includes a whole bunch of frivolous shit.
Is that why you say freedom board? Because when I was looking at the
yeah, I haven't been indoctrinated. I haven't been cultivated.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying? Into a mindset. You know, my mind is free. I understood all the ciphers that I went through. You see what I'm saying? Up until understanding born. You see? So then I freed my cipher.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Is people don't tell me what to do.
Because when I was looking at freedom, and like when I went deeper into it, like essentially just like what the word might mean and shit.
Right.
They're talking about how it's power of self-determination, like a power like be a free state, having free will.
Yeah. And you have to contrast that. Well, you know, I have to, but I'm saying like this is one of the places like we in the midst of that right now, right? Of freedoms constantly being redefined. You know what I'm saying? Like in 1776, right? Freedom meant this classroom right here, this is my shit right here. So I grow my crops. You know what I'm saying? The tools that I use to grow these crops, they mine. And when this crops is grown, I do what the fuck I want to do. If I want to eat them all, if I want to shit on them, if I want to sell them, whatever the fuck I want to do, I can do that. See what I'm saying? See, now freedom is defined as the right to do all kinds of crazy shit. You see what I'm saying? That people really, I don't have no, see, when you talk about freedom and rights and shit, that's dealing with shit that was here in the universe already. Like, see, you don't have the freedom to just come say the fuck you want to say on my show. It's my show. Now, you go out there in the air and say what the fuck you want because you got a mouth and the air is there, it's been there, you do what the fuck you want to do. But for you, I should be free. That's freedom of speech. No, your freedom of speech is the fuck over there. You see what I'm saying? But that's the way how this things has been, it's starting to be, you know, so that's the same thing we saying. When we saying freedom, I mean, don't get me wrong. In America, of course, it's always going to have that connotation because of slavery. You understand what I mean? But, you know, even that's still a part of it. Like, man, I just want you to leave me alone. Like, I you know, like, see, that's a whole issue right there. What I be saying, I want you to, you want to, and I want you to leave me the fuck alone. If you would have left me the fuck alone for the whole time, I'd have been all right. You've been fucking with me. You know, not me, just me as an individual, but I'm saying with black people, you've been doing redlining and all this other, you've been fucking with people. If you would have just left them alone, let them buy a house if they can afford it, don't buy a house if they couldn't afford it, people would have been fine. Because see, and the reality is, when they came up with that FHA shit, right? A lot of black people was making more money than the white people that got the loans. You see what I'm saying? So if you would have left us alone, we would have been fine. Now you acting like it's a problem helping us. Like, no, saying you like help me, leave me the fuck alone. Stop coming in my neighborhood doing dumb shit. Don't put lead in my water. Did you ask someone else to put your lead? You could go do something else with it.
How you feel about this related but not directly related? How do you feel about like as far as like when things start to get integrated, like with schools, jobs, shit like that? Because I was looking at this chart. I forgot what it was, but it was saying that after like before integration started, it was basically saying black people were making a certain amount of money, and it was higher than the average now. But that's because like a lot of people, like my generation, the younger, trying to go to college, and that just puts them in more debt. But we don't come from having a sort of financial freedom or financial power as other people might. So we're already at a deficit, and then we're trying to do something that we think is going to advance, but it's putting us at a deeper deficit. So like, how you feel about as far as like integration?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of integration. Mostly because we didn't have any plan for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, you wanted to be around, you wanted to go to school, you want your kids to go to school with the white kids, but then you didn't really, have it mapped out in your mind how that really was going to look and how it really was going to go down. You see what I mean? So they still end up in a bad situation because the other people do have a plan. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, I think it just comes down to if you want to deal with integration, right? At the end of the day, you're dealing with masses of people, but it's still a relationship. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's like one person relationship is all right, and the other person is damaged. You understand what I mean? So it's the relationship is not going to work out like that. You see what I'm saying? And so you have one community that's damaged, right? And they coming in, and that's what I'm saying. The things that was good for the white community in the 60s, 70s, 80s, all the way up to now, was not good for the black community. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that they should have did it or that it wasn't some black people that might have been ready to go that route. You understand what I'm saying? But that was also something that happened with, when I first got to school, it was the last of the black teachers that, even like right now, we're talking about being bad, there was black teachers that would tell you that, yo, listen, you gotta chill out because these people is really after you. They don't want you to be here. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, you see what I'm saying? So you kind of thrust all of these people into this foreign where now you're no longer being dealt with teachers that's from your community. You understand what I'm saying? That know the whole situation, that they are part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? So, I saw in my time, you know what I'm saying, not saying act aggressively towards them, like you want to do something to them, but you put an aggressive demeanor on with a white teacher is different. The black teacher is not gonna react to that shit. You gonna say, sit your fucking seat, you know what I'm saying? The white teacher say you to the office, and she don't know how to deal with that. You understand what I'm saying? So, just in a lot of different ways like that. You know what I'm saying? That there's some things that there's a lot of different ways to look at. I'm not going to say that that's the singular reason, but we do have to see that there is some correlation in it, right? And correlation is not necessarily causation, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, okay, you get integration, right? You get more brothers graduating, literacy rate rising. Then all of a sudden, the requirements for a good job rises to college. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's the only, there's other reasons that happened, but I'm just saying.
The crazy thing about it is that like some people now, they agree with what you're saying, but they wouldn't even know that they agree. Like, for example, it's very big. Like, I went to Howard, it's all black school, right? And that's like a big thing. Everybody's talking about, yeah, put your kids in all black schools. HBCUs, but like that's literally the same thing as taking away immigration, like not putting black kids into white schools and having to go through all of that. But it's just like people won't see it as that, and they don't see like the disadvantages. But even when it comes to like black schools, a lot of those schools don't even benefit people from like lower financial classes either. Like,
well, you gotta remember that that was and this is what I have against my man W.B. Du Bois, even though I like him for a lot of his ideas and accomplishments, is that his theory about the talented 10th, that only 10% of the brothers and sisters that was around at that time was prepared to kind of operate successfully in mainstream society. You know what I mean? And of course, that 10% he picked happened to be the mulatto people. I ain't gonna say happened, but look, that's So of course I didn't. That's not one of my favorite parts of me. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of who those colleges was designed for. You know what I'm saying? That's who that fraternity and sorority system was designed to kind of shepherd through the college system.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
That used to be a thing, like being a certain skin color, a certain sorority.
Yeah.
The
paper bag test, yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I know about all that. That was still going on. I don't know because I see them, but I'm not as into it. But they was out here. They had an event out here, all this fraternity, sorority. And when you look at them, they look a little different now. Like before, you could look at somebody and tell what fraternity or sorority is. But so yeah, that was a negative part of it. You know what I'm saying? But just whatever move you want to make. You know what I'm saying? Politics is not it's not like a fly by night kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? When people arrive at conclusions, when they arrive at solutions or whatever they're gonna apply, that a lot went into that. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, those people have plans. Like when the government, when they build a highway, they not building this shit to last to the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? They got plans. Like even when you look at their budget and they be saying, yo, we want to save $500 million. They don't mean they're going to save $500 million tomorrow. They mean that over the course of 10 or 20 years, they're going to spend $50 million less each year. So this is the type of people that the planet is up against. But if your plan only goes to the end of the protest, right? Then yeah, we can tell you how the protest is over. We can just say that. And then just go ahead back to doing whatever we doing. You see what I'm saying? So that, even look, in this last political, when the president was elected, that's how I was telling people, it really don't matter if Trump or motherfucking Biden is. What matters is what is your plan to do the politic in between the elections. You understand what I'm saying? Because see, they talked all that lip service shit, right? And now you see whatever situation black people is dealing with is at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? It's not in consideration.
When he was campaigning, he was like just speaking about how he's trying to do so many things. Like I don't know, he was just trying to appeal to black people the whole time.
Right.
Like, the first thing he did, like.
You see, that's because we deal with politics from the retail side of it. To me, that's, when you go to the store to buy something, it's already there. Like the flavors that you can buy is already there. Son. You can't buy no flavors of candies that the people ain't make. We need our own flavor. So if the people ain't going to get into that part of politics, and then you just gonna come in, why didn't you vote? Like, I don't like that motherfucker. Like, I don't have no side. Literally, it's whichever one of y'all motherfuckers gonna sign a paper to do some shit that I like, that's who I'm rocking with. I don't give a fuck who you say your name is. But that's the thing. There's no other people. There's no educating the people. You know what I'm saying? Like these people, a lot of people, the reason why a lot of people come out of these same universities and you see they have the same type of mindset is because they've been educated by the same professors. You understand what I'm saying? The same people. See, a lot of college professors is socialists. And so that's why a lot of the young kids coming out of school is socialists.
The crazy thing about it, I was at Howard, and like in my 4 years there, I probably had like 2, 3 actual black teachers. The rest is like from the Middle East or some white guy.
You see what I'm saying?
Asian nigga. I was just like, yeah, what's happening?
Yeah. And you know, so it just was something that, you know, I'm not going to say it was, you know, I can understand why the brothers wanted to do it at that time. You know, like if all of this is going on in the mainstream and this is what's happening for us, right? And then we talk about people who, you know, they probably got fresh memories of all of these Black Wall Street type shit. You know what I mean? Like these people that's around in the 60s, they was born, and you know what I'm saying, way before that. So yeah, so they experience with things. They like, yo, in order to do this, we're gonna have to be in the mainstream and shit. You see what I'm saying? But I just don't think that all of them had like some people had a plan for it. Meaning like there was people, the reason why some people was down with integration, right, was because if you was Black and you had money, right, you was still forced to live in Harlem, though. You understand what I'm saying? You couldn't live in 59th Street or out in the rich part of Jersey and all of that. You see what I mean? So those people had a plan. Soon as shit opened up, they moved their ass over there. And see, another thing that did, it took a lot of the economics out of the hood now. You see what I'm saying? Like all of that's money that's circulating right here. But now you're making all of this money in the hood with your Black business and then going and spending in Long Island. You see what I'm saying? So all of these things, like without realizing, you know, what is the situation with all those things. You see what I'm saying? Like for instance, you know, a lot of the people that we talk about all the time, we say, well, yo, how do these people get this much political and economic power? That's one of the reasons. Asian people don't integrate. You know what I'm saying? Like you have your Asians, like the guy that ran for mayor, that, you know, he's fairly integrated, but, you know, there's not like a German block in the middle of Chinatown. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's not gentrified. You don't see like, oh shit, yo, that's a brother walking that building right there. Nah, I never seen that. You understand what I'm saying? Other communities, Mexicans don't assimilate. Any motherfuckers that they say, yo, how these people got so successful, you're gonna notice either they was able to achieve full assimilation, right? Because they was European, right? And so now, unless they tell you that their name is Italian or German or whatever, they just European. You know what I'm saying? They could join whiteness. The other people who could not fully join whiteness that was successful never fully integrated. Even look, the Westerners in Brooklyn that got their property, they're not fully integrated.
And then the thing now with like Black people now, I think we just spoke about it before. There's so many like divisions within like the community, different agendas. Everybody trying to attack different things. Everybody trying to attack different agendas and stuff like that. It's just so much division that people don't see it though, right? People just see it as like, oh, if you don't have the same agenda that I do, then you hating on what I do, or you're against it. And it's like that. It's just people don't even look at. I don't know. I personally just feel like people don't ever take a step back and look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like little actions could.
I think as a people, that's one of the lessons that we got to learn. You know what I'm saying? You know how it's like, you know, with anything in life, it's not necessarily that you have an authority over you that's causing, that's making you do it, forcing you to do it. But anything in life is like, if you don't get it right, then you gotta keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's that appears to be a common thread throughout our negative history. We got all kinds of history, from inventing medicine to Chirac. It's all us. You know what I'm saying? We got, but I'm saying
the range of it is crazy.
Yeah, but when we get to that negative end of the range, tribalism seems to keep coming up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That separation that, we're gonna attack our own, from even them being able to accomplish colonialism and imperialism and slavery and all these things was because of the divisions that existed in all the tribes that they was coming, because they never had the monolithic ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like Christianity is a monolithic idea. With those niggas over there, we speak the same language. Oh, they Christian though. Yeah, right. You understand what I'm saying? That's that idea didn't exist really in Africa. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see each other as Africans, or even people from Saint Nick. Like, we're not from Saint Nick, nigga. I'm from building 130, nigga. Where you from? 131? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's the and it just, like I said, with what we doing to each other out there on the streets and all of that, it always comes back to that tribalism causing you to attack your own. You know what I'm saying? And so, just on the face value, obvious level, we're being oppressed by people that are able to put their differences aside sometimes. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So in order for us to do battle, in order for us to meet them head on the battlefield, we got to be able to put aside our differences sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. It's something that I've been looking at, because I pay attention to conversations with just people was, talking, and they saying it's like, yeah, and then now on top of everything, right, you got a new type of tribe of one, right, with all this individualism stuff. You know what I'm saying? Where, it's not just, fuck that tribe over there. Fuck all you fucking peons, man. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all you peons, man. Fuck y'all doing, man. Make me have to spray my window. You know what I'm saying? That's so one is knowledge. And so at the end of the day, it appears that we're gonna have to learn lesson number one in order to be unified enough to really accomplish something. You know what I'm saying? And the funny part of it is that the people, the people that you need to unify this is the ones that supporting your individualism, right? And making you think that your individualism is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So their question is always, well, why does everything always have to be? You know why? Because tell me another time we accomplished anything here in the wilderness of North America. As a people, like, when did motherfuckers just, every individual just went out and did a thing? People might have felt like that, but the only reason you probably was able to do that is because there was some law that was passed that allowed all of us to just act as individuals, but we still was all acting under the auspices of this one single idea. So people is all moving west. Yeah, I moved out there on my own. No, nigga, you moved out there because they offered you land. You know what I'm saying? And that was a whole plan. But all these people believe in the American religion that they pull themselves up by the bootstraps. You see what I'm saying? You know, which is funny. Speaking of usage of words, did you know that originally that meant that you was trying to do something impossible? Yeah, that was the original meaning. Was, you know, you try to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, or to say that, yo, he pulled himself up by the bootstraps. And that, yeah, like that. Yeah, originally it meant you was doing something impossible. You know what I'm saying? And now it's come to known as, yeah, if you a regular nigga, you pull yourself up by the bootstraps. See who's out here. Oh, we got Robbie. Robbie came in. This is Solimar. Welcome to the class.
I had another question.
Mm-hmm.
So we're dealing with refinements and power, right? Refinements is talking about removing impurities
Mm-hmm.
and this state of being free of what's debasing and gross, right? And then
Say it again.
Just removing impurities and it's removing what is gross, debasing, or coarse. And then like the power basically is just the ability to act and do, or to be able to do so. So when you speak about that, is it like power is the ability to do so you can act upon the things in which you think you understand based on the knowledge, or at the time that you read out.
Power is focused energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's electrons moving all around us. You know what I'm saying? But when you plug in the wall, that's the focus kind of energy. So now you got power for your phone. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just like we have all this knowledge, right? They say knowledge is power, right? But then being able to focus that in a way, you see what I mean? Like a lot of people knew the same things Malcolm X knew. You see what I mean? But he had the power to focus it in a way that it changed the world. You see what I'm saying? And that change, right, was a refinement. You see what I mean? The people became more refined, you know, the knowledge of our history and you know, social things and how we're supposed to react as a society, you see what I mean, came to a higher level from him expressing his power.
So you refine well, as a person refine the power beforehand, or you know how refinements as far as like removing the impurity safe, like if you have that focused knowledge, but it's on the wrong thing, you go through the process of refining first, or it's not everybody able to refine or like remove the impurities from which they focus on.
See, the power is just the power. You know what I'm saying? Meaning you can use the power to turn on, you know, all this stuff right here so I can build, right? Or I can fucking stick some shit in there and stick it on you and fucking torture you. You see what I'm saying? With the electricity, power is just power. It's how the person uses it. You see what I mean? So it's the same thing with this knowledge. It's like, look, you know,
when you get the knowledge, right, it just amplifies everything that you do. It don't really make you righteous. You see what I mean? And so you're gonna see that some of the most heinous motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, of all time, you know, they had certain knowledge. You know, it's just like, you know, uh, 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 a person could go and study medicine, right? And they could use that to help people, right? But then also, once you go and study medicine, I know where all the spots is to kill you. You see what I'm saying? I know where all the main arteries is. I know exactly how to hit your heart. You understand what I'm saying? So that having that knowledge gives them the power to do whichever is the one they do, right? But one is refined and one is not. This is what she said here. From my understanding, and to add on, it wasn't about being among them, it was about better education or about having access to better material. Now, I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm not saying that it wasn't, right? But the question is, what would make a person think that that is the way to get a better education or have access to better material? You see what I'm saying? Without you having a specific plan. See, if you don't have a specific plan about how you're going to get a better education on or have access to better material, then what you're doing is depending on them to do it. You're saying that all I have to do is show up at this building and they're going to give me a better education. So you're not, what did the people do? Did they say, well, look here, man, you know, you're going to have to meet with some of the teachers from our schools. Like you can't just integrate the students. You're going to have to bring some of our teachers and some of our administrators in. See, this is what I'm saying about having a whole plan for what you're going to do. I'm saying that, yeah, I could say, I'm going to Australia, right? But I got a bicycle. I say, look, I'm gonna take this bicycle. Okay, what's your plan, son? How you gonna get over the Pacific Ocean? I'm not even saying you can't do it. I'm saying, what is the plan? Like before I come with you, I'm from the South Bronx. Before I come with you on a mission, son, you need to tell me how we gonna get in and how we gonna get out. And what I'm saying is that those plans have not existed thus far. You know, there was no definitive plan for what post-slavery was going to look like. Just like there's no plans for what, oh, here we got Lamel Forever. I told you that we got to listen so we can, Lamel is, I don't know if Lamel is ready to talk about, what was it we saw? Inertia. But yeah, I met Lamel Forever at the memorial for Adrian. Oh yeah, by the way, for those that want to make it ready, you out of town, you in town, Queen Cypher's memorial is at Unity Funeral Home right here on 126th Street. right here on 126th Street and 8th Avenue. So that's walking distance from a law school on the 30th of this month. And I got to check what's his name? I'll make sure to come back on and let y'all know. But I think Gamel is possible that his is at Unity on the 29th. Police and Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson highlights a lot of these thoughts in detail. Yeah, indeed. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all of those different things, that's what it comes down to. So like I said, when, just when you look at different, yeah, see, I knew you was gonna react to Queen Cypher, Cypher, she represented a lot to the young sisters that came to the nation. But so yeah, anybody who wants to make it to that, now you know. Did you say a queen named Sophia from Bland Projects? Where's Bland Projects? You said Sophia from Bland Projects graduated from Columbia Prep and graduated from Princeton on a full scholarship. We have representatives in classes of society they don't know. Yeah, I got one of those too. I got a daughter that graduated from she graduated from Brooklyn Tech, and then she got a full scholarship to Amherst College, not the University of Massachusetts at Amherst College. And then she just, in June, she got her master's from Wake Forest, all on a full scholarship. So yeah, I got my swings in. I still got 2 more I'm shepherding through right now. You got the daughter that came out of Michigan State. What you call that? Magna cum laude. And I have my the little daughter, of course, she won valedictorian. But see, when you have see, I was able to get them an understanding of what's going on in there. What you really going to school for. See, I just like, you see me, I was going to school, I really didn't know what I was going. Like, something that happened when I got the knowledge that was crazy. Like, it was like, oh shit, that's crazy. Like, I remember when I used to be in school and shit, right? And it used to always be like when I first started learning geometry in particular, I was saying the same thing as all the other little kids, man. Like, yo, when am I ever going? Like, I remember specifically saying, yo, when I'm ever going to need to know that a circle got 360 degrees? Like, when I'm going to need to know that? Like when I be watching Batman, it don't never come up. You know what I'm saying? Well, I need to know that the circle got 360 degrees. And then when I came into the knowledge, like, oh shit, I'm glad I'm glad I paid attention to that. Yeah. A lot of things that I had no idea what that was about. When I came into the knowledge, that's when I realized. So see, the term being that they got a little more idea with that, they was able to use their talent better than me. See, I'm still the smartest, but they got better grades than me in school. You can't explain that to them. I don't know what's their problem. Well, you know what I'm saying? Why? What makes them think they're smarter than me? That's really how it goes. You bringing up Perry Mason and Get Smart. I used to think about Perry Mason. He used to call it Mr. Burger. He said, when they used to come out at the end, and look, the nigga always had the same fucked up look on his face because he lost. He's like, how you doing, Mr. Burger? Like you said, that's the perfect name for a nigga that lose every case. Mr. Burger. But yeah, keep working on those definitions like that. So next week we're gonna finish that up, and there was something else I was gonna give you too. I gotta think about it. But yeah, we're gonna finish that, the mathematics up. You know what I'm saying? Then you start on the alphabet. You know what I mean?
I got a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like yesterday, you talking about, you say 6 could be a limitation. Like what you follow could be limitations. But
Yeah. No. See, that's when, well, here's what could be a limitation. If you don't live up to what your equality is supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, see, in some instances, you can give what you want to give, but in other instances, your equality has to rise above a certain level for you to be doing what you're doing. You see what I mean? So when you truly being a father in a year, none of that's limited.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But when you not, when you not furthering, just the education and the situation of all the people around you, then you want to see the limitations because everything around you gonna fall apart.
Yes. All right. Yeah, that clear. All right, good.
All right, no doubt.
Peace.
Peace. Over here. Oh, we got Infinite Mind. Infinite Mind came over here on Instagram. We got a lot of people coming on Instagram, but they're not staying as long. They don't, they're not. Maybe if I would have put them on back when this was a Hotep channel. Did you know that this is this is the channel formerly known as a Hotep channel now, Infinite Mind. We had to leave the Hotep world because of many improprieties in the Hotep world. We had to leave. L7. Yeah. See who we got over here. We about to take a trip over here. See who we got on Facebook. Michael Williams. Oh, Knowledge is over there too.
Yeah, you can't really, I don't know how this works. Yeah. Who knows how it works? We might have to see what's going on with that. You said, how does inertia affect light traveling at 186,000 miles per second? There's not going to be a calculation on that because a photon is not considered to have weight. So those type of calculations that you have to do for inertia that involve mass, et cetera, is not going to apply in a what for what way to a photon. You said, what is the difference between here on Facebook and Instagram? I mean, I just was, I started on YouTube, first of all. So, you know, of course, I have the most experience with, you know, Facebook. And to me, just from my experience, you know, Instagram is a little more, what's the words? You know, it's more swaggy or something. It's more, I don't even know what's the words that they use now. You know what I'm saying? You know, and Facebook, I stopped liking Facebook years ago when I just Facebook was where where I kind of learned that social media is bullshit. But you know, basically that's the difference, you know. And so I just spent so much more time, you know, I would say that's the real difference right now. I spent so much more time building up the YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then it was like I already had kind of predecessors on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It was already the Law School and Mega channel that I was already being on, you know what I'm saying, YouTube. You know, Sunyez had his channel already on YouTube. So this was just kind of what I was a little bit more used to. You know what I'm saying? Instagram, you know, is just people's attention span to me seems short on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like on Instagram, we probably had 20 viewers, right? But they come in and go out. You know what I'm saying? Whereas on YouTube, it's a little more, I can get my point across, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to make sound bites and shit, you know what I'm saying? Where people misunderstand everything I say. You know what I'm saying? So Ahmad Gilchrist says, does gravity bend light? Well, here's the thing. A photon
exists on a photon exists at a level that's right between matter and energy. You know what I'm saying? If things traveling or, you know, things vibrating at particular frequencies, right, can be classified as matter or energy. A photon is something that's dancing right on that line. You know what I'm saying? So there are some physical characteristics of photons. Even where photons come from is from the collisions of atoms cause the electrons to become excited. And as the electrons work off that extra energy that was, you know, kinetically transferred through those collisions, it releases the photon. You see what I'm saying? So the photon exists in that. So, you know, yeah, there will be characteristics of energy and characteristics of matter that are detectable in light. My word. So inertia, if I'm correct, when I looked it up, means nothing to do with remain unchanged. In other words, remain in the same state. Inertia means to do nothing or remain unchanged. In other words, remain in the same state. Indeed, the discussion, where we was having a discussion is to be moving and to keep moving is also to remain in the same state. Just like to be still and to stay still is also remaining in the same state. So inertia is the property, right, that resists the change in state. That's what inertia is. It's the resistance to a change of the state. You know what I mean? You know, like when you say to do nothing, right? Inert means inactive, like the inert gases. What happened to Lamar? I thought he was here to discuss inertia with us. We got a couple new people over here on Instagram. For all the people on Instagram, welcome. We're used to being on YouTube here, but we've added on Instagram and we've added on Instagram. We've added on Instagram and Facebook. So Lamel Forever said that's a convention. Now that's what was interesting about what you said, right? Now I do agree with what you're saying. That a lot of things that we dealing with when we dealing with science, right? That there's been Out the Gates TV, welcome to the channel. There's a lot of things that we deal with, whether we dealing with science, whether we dealing with mathematics, whether we dealing with English, right? There's certain, you said conventions. I'm describing that as times when the experts in the field come together and they decide that this is how we're going to notate things. This is how, this is the terms that we're going to use. These are the notations we're going to use. And so now we're able to use each other's research. You know what I'm saying? Like if I see that you put a -4 right there, then I know that that negative represents you saying something about the electrons in the atom. You know what I mean? Or if you say positive, I know you're saying something, the atomic numbers, where we place the atomic numbers, how the atomic chart looks, all of that is based upon agreements. Now, I would still like to know how those agreements change the actual, how do those agreements change what I said? So my man said he just got in the house, he's running around. So he probably don't have time. We'll have to pick that up. We'll have to pick that up at another time. We'll have to pick that up about inertia at another time. I understand that that's a convention. And I'm just saying, like, if a 1,000-pound rock falls off of a cliff, see, the reason why you can't just stop it like that is because of the inertia. Now, see, the ground is going to have enough resistance to stop the inertia. You said that's without scientific proofs. Okay, so what do you call that thing? Like that, I just, what is your name for it? It's just like, look, when people say there's no gravity, right? I'm saying, okay, right now, if there's no gravity, right? Go to the top of the state building right now and jump off. Now, most of them is not going to do it. And my point is, okay, whatever is that reason that you didn't jump off, that's what I call gravity. Now, what do you call it? See, we can prove it easy without what I'm talking about. I don't know what the whole convention is, but I'm saying, in reference to gravity, if you're saying there's no gravity, jump off the roof. And if you won't do it because you think you're going to pass away, then I'm saying that phenomenon that's going to cause you to hit the ground hard like that, that's what I call gravity. So what I'm saying is, when objects are in motion, big, heavy objects, they're hard to stop. What do you call that property? You, Lamel. Relative density? You will have to explain this relative density to me. Like this is you got to understand, like you said, we talk about conventions. So I'm aware of a different convention where I don't even know what relative density is. And what are you saying is relative density? Are you saying gravity is relative density? Or you're saying that, if a 250-pound fullback comes running through here right now, that the reason why it's hard to bring him down is because of relative density. Is that what you're saying? The ride at the amusement park that was, I know you're talking about, and you stick to the wall, like the floor dropping and things going around, and the centrifugal force keeps you stuck to the wall. So relative density is also called specific gravity. Is somebody, y'all gotta fill me in here. We gotta move a little bit faster here because so you said relative density better explains gravity. So what are you saying is that are you saying that less dense objects, or you saying that more dense objects, like, so you saying that the rock, let's you drop a rock off of the building. So you're saying that the rock is more dense than the air, and that's what causes the rock to fall? That's what you're saying? I'm asking, I don't know. That sounds, we've moved to physics class here, it appears. Edward Green, no, this is the person. This is Laumel Forever that we went through that. You know, all I'm telling you is you can call relative density whatever you want. If that's your name for gravity, then let's call it relative density. When you jump off the building confidently, then we can say that you call it whatever you want. If you want to say relative density, yeah, relative density really exists. It's specific because it's a relationship between a medium and an object. Yeah, no, God, no. Because no matter what the medium is, meaning if I put the rock on top of water, or even if I put the rock on the top of another rock, right? Eventually, it's gonna have an impact. Like when you have, when you have ice sheets, for instance, in the polar caps, it's still pushing the land down. It doesn't matter what the medium is. The medium can be your head. If 1,000-pound rock falls on your head, the gravity is going to make it go through it. Has nothing to do with the medium. The medium, if anything, is providing resistance against the gravity. Gravity is defined as an effect, not a cause. I have no idea what that means. I'm not cause or effect. What is this? You said relative density applies to how much force is coming from the object in relation to the other object. So exactly, this means something more. Relative density, the way you're describing right here, is more about the resistance that the medium causes. So in other words, if you drop this rock in water, it's going to drop slowly, more slowly than if you drop it through air, but because of the resistance and the friction that the water is causing. Look, man, you tell me what you want, but when you let 1,000-pound rock fall on your head, right, and you work it out, you put something that's more relatively dense over your head to cause that 1,000-pound rock to stop, then I see what you're saying. But in the meantime, it appears that you're trying to use different words to say the same thing. To me, relative density. We get these things. You said gravity causes you to fall? No, your mass in the field of gravity, right, causes you to not be able to float. See, because right now I'm standing here, I'm not falling. I'm just saying that you can, all of these things you saying, I want you to tell me the reason that you won't jump off the Empire State Building. I need you to tell me, don't tell me I'm no red herrings. If it's a red herring, put your worm in the water and catch it. I want you to tell me, explain to me the scientific reason why you will not jump off the Empire State Building. And I want you to explain to me also, right? I need you to explain to me how relative density, right, shows and proves gravity when you're lifting things up. And I want you to tell me the relationship between weight and relative density. No, that's wrong, Felix, because if he's constantly in elevation, that is inertia, him constantly elevating. But what I need is just the scientific explanation. Like, for instance, this is what I'm saying. If I pick up over here on the side, I got a 30-pound kettlebell, right? So when I pick it up, right, according to my understanding, right, of the physical world, the gravity has a greater effect, right? Or the gravity has a particular effect at that mass and weight, right? What is it about relative density that would make it harder to lift a 35-pound weight? Not just a 35-pound weight falling, but lifting it. What is it about relative density that causes that to be heavier? You said, because I'm more dense than the air, I will fall. Change the medium to quicksand, then what happens? You still sink. What are you talking about? That's what quicksand is. Like, that's not what you're explaining, right? Is why the air doesn't hold you up in the way that a floor holds you up in the field of gravity. But you haven't explained anything. So you need to explain, how do birds fly? Because birds are more dense than the air. So are you saying that when the bird flaps their wings, they're only battling the density? Like their wings, how do their wings affect the relative density? He said, how, the brother here said, how do you see the science of wisdom, knowledge relating to the universe? See, the universe is that's the physical world. See, that's the manifestation of all the ideas. You know, everything in the universe, all this wisdom, knowledge right here, this is a manifestation of all the ideas. you know, and because if you fall through the air, right, if there's no such thing as gravity and you only fall through the air because of relative density, then why don't we float through the air because of relative density? Why it only works that one way? Why it don't work sideways? Why it don't work up? Why it only works down? Explain me that one. Out the gates, TV said relative density or specific gravity is the ratio of the density mass of a unit of, you said mass of a unit volume of a substance to the density of a given reference material. You this what I'm saying? You explain that. I don't know what this has to do with objects moving through space. Now, Mel said, I can't type fast. Birds should be able to fly if they were subjected to gravity. Man, we really going off the deep end here. We are really going off the deep end here. So the question is, what are the bird's wings doing to the density? You're asking me if gravity is a pulling action. Look, we in your world now. We in your world where there's no gravity. I'm asking you, what are the bird's wings doing to the relative density? And I want to know why don't things float up or side to side? Like right now, I should be totally unstable because of relative density. I should be totally unstable. I should be floating in every direction because the only thing that's more relatively dense than me is the ground. So why would I ever go towards the ground? You said you're asking me if the bird's wings are working energy. No. What I'm saying is that you got a bird on the ground. What do the bird's wings do? Scientifically, how do the bird's wings interact with relative gravity that causes them to fly? Because you're telling me what a lot of things is not, but you ain't told me what you're talking about yet. So you keep asking me about what I'm saying. Listen, what I'm saying, right? This is known and accepted. You see, this is the thing about science, what I'm saying. See, when I say gravity, if you ask me all of these questions, I can explain to you within that system, within the idea of there being gravity, I can not only explain things that we see, right? But gravity can also predict things. Gravity can also predict things. So you can predict that, okay, if this plane weighs this much, and we put this much fuel on it, and it weighs that much, and we put that much cargo on it, and it weighs that much, and we say that gravity is this, then we can predict how much power we need to get that plane off the ground. So what I'm asking you is for all those explanations, because that's what we're doing with science, right? We explaining the things that we see every day all around us. So I'm just asking you to explain some more of it, because you can tell me these things, but see, if I accept them, then I believe in a religion that worships Lamel forever. But if you explain to me what's happening so I can see it for myself, then we can all know the truth. Yeah, you probably listen. You got to catch up to it. Who's this? We got a couple other people. Yeah, man, look at y'all. Yeah, we got some on Klesher, Brooklyn, 1798. Yeah, we listen. I don't know how, all of a sudden now there's no inertia, there's no can you tell me what else? Like what else? What else don't exist? Yeah. What else don't exist? What is the relative density of the space around the Earth, and how does that affect how fast it's traveling, and why doesn't it travel off in all different directions if there's no relative density around it? Well, here's the hold on. You can't type fast. Well, we got the link here, buddy. We got the link here, buddy. You come on and spew this stuff, man, for the world. This is the all right. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, L7, you there with me? That's what I'm saying. Like, are we getting ready to go into flat Earth? Like, that's what I'm saying. What else? Like, what else is it that we've come to know all this time? You know what I'm saying? Because see, we're under certain understandings. Like, you need to drop the rest of this, brother. It's, I'm trying to. Oh, I know. Here we go. Everybody on Instagram, hold on 1 minute. I gotta set something up so we can get no gravity on here. All right, here's what I gotta do. Knowledge Born, you still in the room? I'm gonna text you the link, Knowledge Born, because I can't get on my what's your name right now. I ain't got my technology hooked up like it's supposed to be. Oh wait, I know what I gotta do. Hold on, we gotta get
All right, there we go.